What up, people? How are you doing? Yes, it's another beautiful Tuesday. And of course, you know how we do it. We bring the Pepper Spot show to you guys. Now, I mean, this is like the election week. We're still expecting results, guys. And I know that most of you are not really comfortable with what you're seeing. But I mean, regardless, be happy, guys. Be happy. Yes, guys, this is the Pepper Spot show. Of course, you're listening to Voice Tone. My name is Choma Eze, and I have my beautiful
Yes,
co-presenter with me right
sir.
here. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Beautiful people of Nigeria.
I love your hair. Oh.
Honestly, thank
You
you.
guys.
She's not hair that is
Don't
doing
be
me because
smarting,
people will say
Come
this one still went to do
Come
hair.
on.
What is happening in Nigeria?
Mama is allowed, I beg. It's allowed.
Actually. You guys, I mean, your girl can never be caught unfresh.
Definitely.
So, guys, yes, it is the Prep Spot show, and today's edition is quite special. I mean, it means a lot to me and Chi because it's we're celebrating the forthcoming International Women's Day.
Definitely.
We know that the International Women's Day is in March, the 8th of March. And we're bringing you like an early meal so that you can be in the spirit. And because of that, we have a special guest in the building. Like, in fact, we're just so fortunate to have her because I mean, she's going to be. I'm not supposed to before people will block her and collect money on the road. But I mean, she's going to be speaking. We're quite privileged to have her here because I mean, by this time next week, she's going to be speaking from New York, and she's going to be meeting with like the biggest people from different parts of the world to talk about women. So guys, I know you're already guessing who is this person. We have an amazing person, and she goes by the name Mrs. Kehinde for Adelaja. She's the CEO of Next Level Hair Manufacturer. For those of you who they buy correct wig, you know that Next Level Hair is like one of the biggest hair suppliers in Nigeria. She's the CEO of Make Me Elegant Foundation. She's the CEO of Celebrating Women. She's the CEO of Ojaja, Ojaja Women, right? Yes. And I like to call her Oba of Ife's baby. Because their synergy, see, as in she's anything. Let me just give you people like a secret. See, anything you want from Oba of Ife. You
have to go through
Oni of Ife. I mean Oni of Ife. Oh, just go through Mrs. Kehinde Okorafor. I mean, he's got a soft spot for her, and I'm just eager to ask, like, well, because I know you are not his biological child, but this synergy, the bond, and I mean, he has assisted you through to also, you know, achieve a lot for women, and it's just beautiful to see. How do you feel this beautiful afternoon?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm laughing. You know, I always tell my mentees that access is greater than assets. Everybody love to work with people who are valuable.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to gain attention of people like Cornel Fifa, people like the Minister of Women Affairs, people like Alakija, you must be valuable. That's it.
So, in other words, see, let me escalate it.
In other words,
in humble words, because she's trying to be very humble here. In other words, she's valuable, and that's why she's got access to.
And I'm relevant.
People.
And she's relevant. Nice. Super nice.
I mean, talking about relevance and valuable, I know that before this show, we were having like a discussion, and, you know, because of the ongoing things in the society, you said some things, and I feel like it's going to be a great opportunity for people to learn from what I learned from this morning. You said something about there's a difference between being famous and being relevant, and that's because of, you know, there's been a lot going on social media. In fact, I'm in the acting industry, but you see, these past few days I've got to know so many actors and actresses that I never knew. So I'm like, oh, this is an actor. Oh, this is an actor, because blogs are like, actor so person has an opinion, actor. And you were like, you know, the thing is, so many people do not know that they are just famous and not relevant. So, like, what can you please expatiate on that, you know, that statement?
Okay, thank you. Like what I said, that is just write up of one of his your actors' Instagram page. I won't mention the name, and I was like, you people should stop fighting because so many people are looking up to us because we are role model. I said, wow. I just dropped a message. I said, how many people are looking onto you because you're a role model for crying out loud? We have a lot, 1,000, 1 million people outside that are actually role model that people they don't even know. Movies make you famous. Social media make you famous. My dear, you are just famous. You are not relevant.
Word.
That's it. Until they know the difference between famous and relevancy. Famous is just a rave of the moment. People that said Baba Sonny Adi and Baba Obi, they are evergreen. They know what they are saying. Even after 40, 50 years, when you listen to their song, you will know that they are really singing. Those are the people that will tell them that they are relevant. Even at this time, at this stage, they're still relevant. Do you know how many of this they will just go bah, 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 boo, boo, boo. We can't hear them again. You know. So most of those Nollywood, they are just let them know that they are famous.
They're not relevant.
They are not relevant.
And you mentioned that, I mean, there's like, you give an example of a 24-year-old who is currently like, speaking.
Yes, I was, when we were talking, I know, I
female.
mentioned a female. Yes,
a female.
I have, because I am addicted to young women who are doing great. I remember during African Women Leadership Program that did their 10 years anniversary in Abuja. The vice president of Liberia was there. Okay. I think the president of Ghana, the wife was there. We have likes of Yemi Adenuga, who is the first black mayor in Dublin. We were there together. So many. Even this lady that just won, that won
the senatorial seat.
Apotia, what's her name?
I think I know the person.
Yes,
name doesn't.
she was there.
Right
we
now.
have Magdalena Cooper, who was contesting for presidential election in Liberia. A lot of them. And there's these young ladies, they asked them to come and talk. When they finished talking, I just went out. I'm interested in them. I see something others they were not saying. And I told them, I said, me, our father Tinubu is a godfather. I want to be a godmother too. To young, intelligent, brilliant young lady. We have a lot of young girls that are not intelligent. So, but because you are intelligent, I want to be part of your story. And that was it. And I have Wumi. She is the founder of Gender Mobile. If you're under distress, if you call the number that is on our website, they will pick that number within 2 seconds. She has spoken before in General Assembly in United Nations. And now she has an appointment with African Union. She's a lawyer. She's about 24, 25 years. These are intelligent young girls. We have Tolu Lope Makinwa. She's the founder of Mazua Africa in about 6 or 7 African countries. These are girls that are doing well for themselves. So how can somebody, a Nollywood actor, now say that some people are looking up to them? Can Tolu or Wumi or Shola Martins look up to people like them? They look up to people like us, not them. We have Karimat too. All of them will be joining me next week. Okay, on Sunday in UN because they are speakers.
Wow. I mean, I feel like number one, it's the International Women's Day, which is dedicated to celebrating women. And you also talked about relevance. I mean, it's very important that we as women, we need to be giving back to the community. We need to be intelligent enough to be able to give back to the community. And talking about the elections, because I mean, that's what we're facing right now. We've had like a lot of women win different positions, right? What do you think about it? And do you think women are participating enough in politics right now in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you. I am also the convener of Impact Women. And what are we trying to do about Impact Women is we want to be the generation of female leaders who will look down and say, I have reached the peak. Let me raise somebody up and mentor them. I am not happy really until when I see a female president, female vice president, females who are governors. I put something on my WhatsApp status yesterday. I said, we won't relent. Yes, the election is good. Anybody that wins know that is coming to the hot seat because they've seen that Nigerian youth, you don't joke with them. They have power.
Yeah.
If they are determined to do things, forget it. And Nigerian youth don't show them pepper. So even if Tinubu wins, he should know that he has to perform. If he doesn't perform, I don't know. But I believe now that with what they were saying, they know that Nigerians are tired, you know. And I put it on my WhatsApp status, I put it on Facebook, I sent it to some of the pages, groups. I said, this year has gone in terms of election. But next year, let us begin to drum into their head. Let them know now. Anybody coming out as a president, if you don't choose female, we female, we're not going to talk about whether you are in PCC, whether you are in APC, whether you are in PDDG. We're not going to talk about parties. We're going to talk about women involvement in politics. Let me tell you something. I have had opportunity to work with the Minister of Women Affairs. And I'm going to use this opportunity to say, Mommy Portalin, you are a mother. I've never seen a minister. First time I'm seeing you know, sometimes most of the Nigerian politicians, they are very arrogant too. That was the time I was in Lagos to see one commissioner. At the point I asked, I said, are we seeing the governor? The way and manner you will see go to other states like Osun, you will meet their women affairs, you can't do that in Lagos. So when people ask me, I said, now why are you not working with Lagos? I said, are they accessible? Because to me, they are not accessible. I don't even know them. But this woman, you know, I started having this feeling. I started feeling so bad. I started feeling so low in my spirit when I know that in the next few months, weeks, this woman will leave that position. I kept on asking myself, can we have somebody like her? She operates an open door policy. You know, sometimes when some of my friends want to do something, I say, I'll do flyer for the Minister of Women. I say, no, we can't do it too. I said, do it for her. I've seen what you are doing. She will support. She doesn't need to come or call you, but she will support. And at the end of the day, everything is not about money. But this woman gave us platform. Most women gave us platform to ride on. Do you know sometimes I want to rescue some of those girls? And I feel, which name should I mention? I mentioned her name. And for one, she said, why are you mentioning my name? And do you know another thing that she does that I like is anytime I rescue any of those girls, Her Excellency will write me a thank you letter and said, these are things that we're supposed to do. You will need people like you that can move and work on behalf of the ministry and get result. She's a woman and she gives us a platform. You know, that is what most of these people don't do. We needed a woman like that that can give we women platform. So accessible. In fact, if I talk more about her, I may get emotional because I've been emotional for the past few days, few weeks about her going, and sometimes you don't know this. She doesn't know. She may not know how important she is to us for her being a minister of women affairs. Who is going to be the next of women, minister of women affairs? Is that person actually going to be like
accessible?
And let me tell you something: if you don't have somebody like that as her, forget it. People like us can't deal with other international organizations that will deal with that. We can just say, this woman is for us. We're working for her.
Thank you so much for answering that question. But I mean, while you were speaking, you talked about, how you rescue women and all of that. And I know I've never mentioned this to you, but sometimes when I check your story, immediately I just see like a survival victim narrating the story. I'm out. I will just not check the story because most times it gets me really emotional. And even before the show, I was watching. You see what I watched on your phone before the show. We're going to play this like during a break, Chi, for the people to see. For those that are going to be, watching the video version of this. While you were playing those videos for me, I mentioned something. I said, I only watch this thing in movies and I feel like they don't happen. So you just actually successfully like saved the lives of some women in Iraq. I know I've seen stories of women. I even see them give testimonies. Your birthday, they do things for you to appreciate you. You've saved women that were lost to human trafficking in Saudi Arabia a lot. But this one of Iraq, I mean, I saw the CEO of the cartel business, or what would I call that kind of business, and the men, how they abuse women, and some stories, and particularly the voice note of the lady that was, unfortunately, she, before rescue got to her, she lost her life. Like, how, I don't even know where to start my question from, but like, how do you deal with these things? How do you deal with these things? Because I think the first question should be that, like, how you mentioned that people that fall victims, they actually are on the verge of looking for survival, like trying to survive. So they fall victims. And you gave me example of some people that have not even seen 10,000 in months. They want to survive. So they probably tell them that we have like maybe a housemaid job for you somewhere, and they go and then they end up in the hands of people like that. So like, how do you even deal with this thing yourself? Because how do you cope mentally, doing all of these, and how do these victims get there? What has been the process for you rescuing these victims?
On this, I want to appreciate my royal father. I want to appreciate Bami. I want to appreciate His Imperial Majesty Oni Adeyeye Nitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II. Alaka Omo Apara. I want to appreciate him because I don't think I can do it all alone. He has been a good father. He has been very supportive. Sometimes we don't even understand. Let me give you an example of a girl that we rescued from. It's on a viral video. Everybody will see it. This girl that they said they amputate her hand in Egypt. Unfortunately, I think I saw it once. I saw it on a person, and I didn't even know that the video went viral until when we rescued her back and I took her to Ife to meet Oni. That's when people started saying, and I said, 4 million shares. I said, for where? I didn't see it too. They kept on tagging KBC. They kept on tagging until when they called me from the palace and said, yeah, BG, didn't you see what's going on? I said, what's going on online? There's this lady, they didn't even allow me to talk. They just sent message to me. I spoke to her. I saw the way she was crying. She was she was depressed. She's trying to explain what happened. They didn't even tell her that they're going to amputate that, and she doesn't have money. They now put POP 3 days after the whole hand. In fact, got messed up. Then I said, we'll see what we can do. They just took her to theater and cut off her hand. Somebody that uh, is not easy. We started talking. I sent message to NAPTIP. I sent message to Nigerian embassy. Nigerian embassy told us that they told her that yes, they have called them from the palace of Oni. That she should bring her document. She went with her document. She came with a fake document, and that's a red flag. I said fake document. I knew that would take a while. I said, wow, what am I going to do now? I have to get in touch with one of my friends who is in US that is very close to them in United Nations. I now told him, I said, sir, can United Nations help me with this girl? And I remember a friend of mine introduced me to another organization, and I sent message to them too. And that's how we started making arrangements. The other organization gave me their office address and said, can she go there? She went there, and that was it. With ease. First of all, they started paying her house rent, giving her food.
There in Egypt or when?
There in Egypt.
Okay.
They relaxed her. The founder of Global Women Africa Network too. They want to tell her that there is a life after this. Don't lose hope. I told her, Oluwaseun, you are still a queen. Adjust your crown anyhow. Just adjust your crown. You are not dead. Some are dead. So we need to be telling her like that because she was very, very depressed. And she was alone there. That makes it very worse. And through the grace of God, through the international organization, they brought her back to Nigeria.
So she's currently in Nigeria
She's
now?
currently in Nigeria. Last week we were in Ife. We took her to Ghana because she has to see Baba now. Because the directive came from her that we should find a way to rescue her. And now Baba is trying to get her this artificial and for her. So we thank God for that. But for those who are in Iraq, it was last year. I didn't even know some of our women are in Iraq until when somebody sent me a message in that we're in Iraq. I said, Kilon in Iraq. Iraq. Is it not? That was what I was asking how. I said, is it not that Iraq they are throwing bomb? But where are they throwing bomb? Because I always know that there are some countries that they are just red flag country. And I remember sometimes Minister of Women Affairs, because I'm in our group, they always send us pictures, messages about red flag country. Even at the point they said Turkey is a red flag country, we should stop going. I don't know why Nigeria wants to go every country that is
outside.
So I said, okay, I added them up into a WhatsApp group. I said, we'll see what we'll go do now. I called them at the Foreign Affairs. Do we have Nigerian embassy there? They said no. I said, even your country said no get there. You ran there. Okay. Because the first thing we normally do is to get in touch with the Nigerian embassy there. At least sometimes, like that Lebanon time when whole thing was hot for Lebanon. At least Nigerian embassy in Lebanon was helping us with those ladies. Even if they are going to sleep in the embassy for this, they will help, at least they are still helping us. Even those that ran away, we tell them go to the embassy, they will still help us. So I was with this international organization, Global Women African Network, they now added one woman. The woman now introduced herself and said she's women affairs and children. Blah. She just introduced. Immediately I read it.
In
I just
Iraq?
yes.
Hmm.
I just introduced myself, sent a message to her. I said, "Ma, sorry, you are in Iraq." I said, "Ah,
Is she a Nigerian?
she's not in Nigeria. She's Iraqian, no.
Okay.
She lives in Iraq, but she has this position. Women can right gender. You know those positions for women are just like women affairs. So I said, "Ma, we have our Nigerian girls stranded in Iraq. Please, how can you help us? I'm a member of Global Women African Network. Queen Esther should talk to you." I said, "Oh, okay. And she's so nice. I don't know why all these people outside are so nice. All these people working with government. It is only in Nigeria that you will see ordinary driver,
Security official.
ordinary driver to a commissioner. You will be behaving like a governor." If you see the way she was talking to me, can I have the details? Can I have where they are? Can they share? I am telling you, within 1 week, this woman moved. I didn't even know, and I was going to UK. So because I was going to UK, I was having programs in UK. I didn't even know that they have rescued them. I was still in UK when those girls called me and said they're in Nigeria. I said, how did you do it? Who bought your ticket? How did you get to? 9 of them, she rescued them. And she never mentioned PIM to me till those girls came back. Until when I sent a message, I said, "Ma, you didn't say anything. Thank you." She just said, "Your girls are back. Congratulations." She didn't even say anything again.
That's like, wow. Wow.
Sometimes I ask myself, how did Nigeria get here? Honestly. 2 months ago, we started seeing some other girls when they knew what happened. They started sending messages to rescue us. We're in a house.
In Iraq?
In Iraq, they will be beaten. They will be beating them. They were beating one time. She nearly died. And I sent, they didn't know they are using their video. And I sent the video out to that woman. She was angry. She said, "Who is beating that lady? She needed to know. She needs to know. I thought they were joking. Well, the founder of Global Women African Network in America, that's how they started with their police. On my birthday, they just asked me and said, "I'll be on a standby today. We want to go and rescue those girls." I said, "Okay." If you see the way they gather police to go and rescue those girls, they rescue them.
You said some even lost their womb in the process.
Those who lost their womb are people from Libya.
Okay.
We have about 9 or 11 countries who could not just tell their story. If I show you videos of what is happening in Iraq and Libya now, you won't watch it. So they rescued them. They're in their shelter now. So we're preparing for them to come back home in Iraq. Still the same Dr. Maha. Still the same woman that rescued them.
Wow.
Honestly, my heart is already even beating safe like this as I'm even hearing it. I just really want to know. Like, I know that you've done this for a while and then you're used to it, right? But how were you able to build yourself to this point? And first of all, I want to know what inspired you to even, like, how would I put it? I do feel like you have to have a large heart to be able to take your time to, how would I put it now? I feel like you need to have a large heart to be able to dedicate yourself to ladies, to young girls, to the girl child, right? And for you to be able to have done this, it means that something is pushing. There's like a driving force. I want to know what that is.
Me say I don't know waiting they push me. Honestly. Because sometimes I get tired too. I was like, what is all this now? Let me born you. I'm equally the founder of Young Widows Minds. Jelly, I was just with my widows. My young widows are my friend because most of them lost their husband very early in life. Some not only losing their husband, they lost their husband, some with their children. And because I have a junior sister who lost her husband at the age of 35, my senior sister too. So I know the pains. They didn't even know that it was even because of them. Then with encouragement from Mommy Folonsho Alakija, that's how I founded the Young Widows Mind. And we're so close. We go about, we do our things, we collect our work together. So anybody that sees me, even from Ife, they will say, yeah, Opo, where? What even pushed me to this?
You don't know. Wow.
I think we did a walk. I have a friend that was like, me, I'm empowering. She would call me to come and empower the victim of woman trafficking. I said, okay. We now did a walk in Ife in conjunction with Morimi Ajasoro, the initiative of the initiative of Oni of Ife. So when I did the walk, oh, I was not shouting, no to human trafficking, don't go abroad, don't go this. One lady now came and said, Auntie, come, I know you. I said, where did you know? I know you. I know Onyi's mother's mom. I said, yeah, she's my friend. I said, I said, it's Onyi. Onyi is fine. She now can say, come. Yeah, do you know where Onyi is? I said, Onyi is in Lagos. Which Onyi in Lagos? Onyi is in Oman that you said people should not go.
Wow.
Very funny. Very funny to them. I just took that, put the placard and said, Onyi is where? So I am sitting there, don't go to Oman. So someone like my own daughter, she's even in Oman. I said, do you have her number? She said, yes. I said, okay, don't tell anybody. Let's just do our normal. We did it. And we have young girls that came. That's when I started hearing stories. We have Honorary Blessing. I think I get her surname. She's from Benin that traveled to Libya. She traveled to Libya through the desert. She spent 3 months there. About 60 traveled. It's only 10 that were able to enter Libya. On the road, she was raped. On the road, she entered. We call it tranque. Tranque means kidnapping. They kidnap her, and they ask her to call her mother. The father is late. Her mom to send money. In the process, they send over 1 million something. But we won't tell them that. So you think that 1 million, you can't use it for business. You don't tell them because they have gone through a lot already. You don't even point out their mistakes. Any little thing, they are aggressive. So they don't see death as nothing. So in fact, they feel that if I die, the pains will end. So anything that will make them do otherwise, please, we won't do it. So she said when she now got to Libya, they keep on raping her on the way. When she got to Libya, she was pregnant. They used this anger. I don't know. She lost the pregnancy. Anyhow, that's how they sold her to one woman. Okay, when she got there, she now said, you took a while coming. My money has been running. He said, which money? He said, I'm giving people in Nigeria about 2.5, I'll be 3 million. So you're going to work for it. He said, but he said, because I'm a hairdresser, when I get here, I'll come and work. Said, hairdresser, work. In fact, because you stayed before you get to Libya, we have to take you to Connection House. I said, what's Connection House? Connection House is where they take our girls to, where they sleep with them. Or she went with one of her cousin or friend. That one wasn't lucky. She was sold to Woman Farm. Woman Farm is where they harvest their organ to sell. So it is real. Woman Farm, Connection House, it is real. So they sold her. That was the last she saw her. In fact, when they remove it, they'll throw them, they'll see it. Throw them. So she has gone through a lot of stress. There's this boy that was trying to rescue some of these girls that every evening they bring different men to come and sleep with those girls. And that day he said he was just angry. He has to run into the place, at least bang on the door, use so many things, open the door, and and rescue 55 girls.
Wow.
55. In the process, they shot him, and is rescued back to Nigeria by United Nations. Though they have to cut off his leg because of the impact of the bullets on his um, on his backbone.
Mm-hmm.
So people like him too are there who are victim of human trafficking. We have a lot of them. We have Adenike Temitope, who was sold into prostitution too in Libya, and our story is not a palatable story. But now she's standing up on her own. I know she got her support from American embassy, they give her money. Now she goes everywhere to talk about, human trafficking. Sometimes allow the survivors to share their own story. If I'm talking about it, you may not understand. But you were able to understand too, because I listen to them one on one. They send me videos, they send me pictures. They send me, in fact, I know as I'm talking now, some of them were sending me audios and said they are taking us somewhere. We don't know where they are taking us to. Okay, when you get there, share your location, share this,
Is it that they
share
leave
that.
their phones with them?
They hide their phone most of the time. They don't even know that they have
They have
phones.
phones with
And
them.
one saving grace is that they don't understand English. They only speak Arab. So even if they are talking to us in Yoruba or English, they won't know.
Oh.
So that's one of the saving grace. Even though if they collect the phone, they won't really know.
Like I want to ask, okay. I wanted to ask, is there any painful one that you've ever seen or story that you've heard that made you cry? I mean, I know that you're used to it, but what's that one that you heard and that broke you?
I remember 2 years ago when we brought some of these girls to Ife, because we bring them to Ife every year. There is Imperial Majesty or United and it will empower them and set some of them up on skills, on business. And there's this particular young girl. We're asking all of them that they should share their stories, and we'd like them to talk about their stories. And there's this particular girl that was saying, my own brother, Egbomi, Egbomi did this to you. And she was crying. And I asked her, I said, what happened? I think when she was going, she was 14 or so. On the road, she was raped by several men. And when she got there, she was thinking, okay, I've seen my brother. I'm going to tell my brother what I went through. He's going to fight it with them. And the brother just said, no, I don't have time. I don't have time. You are here to work. Like this one that you are doing like paper. You have to work. It is our own brother that sold her into slavery.
Wow.
That one pained me because this girl is so small. Somebody a virgin and they were molesting. And she trusted
her
her
brother.
brother. One of the things I want you to know, that kidnappers are friends. They get so close, they get so familiar with their victim before they capture them. That's just it.
Wow.
And sometimes when you ask them, though I don't want to be bothered about the agent that took them there. Do you know some of them are pastors in their churches?
Wow.
Pastor in their churches. My mother's junior sister, my mother's friend, we have a story of a twin. Twins, so they are just the only children the mother has. One. Do you know that another one is going to Italy and Libya? Until when they get to one place, I don't know what the name of that place. That's when they saw themselves. Two, the woman only has two children in her life, and they took all of them to Libya. One was taken to Lebanon. The trafficker came back and said, your mommy said I should bring you. Took the daughter to Libya. When daughter got to Libya, so many people, they were sleeping with her. She came back. She doesn't even know owns a child. And when the mother was in Lebanon, they were asking the mother to sleep with dogs.
Hey, sleep with dogs.
So that
They
is
asked the mother to
yes.
sleep with
They
dogs.
said that is his job here. So she said she refused, that she's not going to do it. That's what she said. She refused. They take her back to the office. They were beating her. As they were beating her, three
Hey.
men were sleeping with her too.
Hey,
It's just really sad,
sad,
honestly.
oh.
It's really sad.
Hey, so I know that like this is a phase, and I think that's why I respect your like organization more, because you mentioned young widows mites, and I know that my mom, for instance, has benefited from, like, there was one time myself and my one time skit partner, our moms are both widows, and there was one time you just said invite your moms, since they are widows, for like, one of your setup programs. And we've seen what you've done for widows. We've seen you set up widows, like give them, those who learn like a craft, you give them like money, tools to start their businesses, marua, a lot of things that you've done. I've seen you do those things for like widows and all. And for these people too that you're talking about, because it's another thing for them to be rescued and then now left in the society that, after all, we've brought you to Nigeria. Oh yeah, go and face your lives. But I now see you then try to empower them again when they arrive in Nigeria. Like, because some people will be wondering that you must be a multi-billionaire. Because I mean, this time I'm seeing you're already celebrating 10 victims with maybe tailoring equipment, machine, and I'm like, this money and all of that, like, so I want to know, like, is it that your organization stands on its own and finances these things? I know you've mentioned like the Minister of Women Affairs and the likes, or like you have some partners who help you in, assisting these women, as they try to stand on their own in their country.
Me, I don't have money.
Are you saying that so that we will not collect
Ola
money from you
Jesu
today?
munje. Falala munjola Olua. I hope you don't mind that I
sang that Yoruba song. No,
No problem.
It's allowed.
I have a sweet voice now. Anyway, like I said, I don't have money, but I know what it means not to have. So I share the little that I have. But sometimes God will give you some people who will never get tired of you, and the support. I have support. I have only not from government. You can't believe it. I have support from friends. I have support from my Baba, the Imperial Majesty Onadeyeye Nitongo. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, he gave, though we've not started the film, but we want to do it. And he said he's going to put 20 million naira down for us to write a film. And he will want those girls who experience to come and talk about their experience. Sometimes when survivors talk about their experience, even at then they talk now, they for don't they cry. But because happened to me, I no go cry, but they will cry. Because we open wounds of what they don't want to remember again, and they will cry. Because if 15 men, Nika will tell me that 15 men sleeps with her daily, and they don't use condom, and they use wives to sleep with them. It's so deep. I have a story of Omolara. Omolara was trafficked to Mali here. Mali. And she was there for 2 good years sleeping with men. But there's one unique thing. We're talking about International Women's Day. I'm trying to bring in women of impact. Every time when they want to bring women of impact, they can go and bring one MD of a bank and say because it's no be all of them go school now. You may not go to school and be women of impact. This girl planned her escape route for 1 year plus. She did not even rescue herself alone. She rescued over 200 young girls.
Wow.
In that connection house. She's actually the one that I want to celebrate on International Women's Day.
Wow.
She makes sure that the slave master trusts her when the woman is going out. She said, okay, take care.
A woman?
She's a woman.
Hey.
Oh, take care of those people. When this person come, this is the room this man will enter. She said, okay. She escaped with 2 13-year-old girls, 13-year-olds. In fact, she said sometimes when they finish sleeping with them, the womb will drop. They will have to use that to push the womb up. And those girls will be crying and said, please, please, we want to go. We don't want to die like this. And she was moved and she escaped with them. And you that you escaped after 2 years, where did you supposed to go to? Supposed to go to your country now. She went to Nigerian embassy. They said, do you want to say no? She doesn't want to go. That she wants to go and report to the police station. Though they give her wahala. She went there. When she refused to go, they now gave her a letter. They said, okay, go and give it to your madam. She went there herself and handed the police letter to the woman and said, take. They needed you in the police station. The woman didn't believe it. And that's how they started the case. She was jailed. After they jailed her, they rescued those girls. She now came back to Nigeria with that 13-year-old girl. But she rescued them.
Wow. God,
Wow.
she's such a superhero.
Yes.
Wow.
But she rescued them.
So I want to know, like, what's your advice for young ladies? First of all, I feel like we've heard this like a lot of times, especially like online, people advising young ladies not to travel like that and the rest. But I do think that this is like a topic that you cannot stop talking about because regardless of whatever we are saying, we still have young ladies that are going through a lot that need money and will still be forced to do that. First of all, I think this is like, I'm going to ask like 2 questions. The first question is, what advice do you have for them? And the second question is, how do you think this can be stopped? Like for those that, I know you talked about like people that had to work, you talked about the desert and how they had to work and all. Like, how do you think can be stopped? Like, I really don't know how to explain it, but first of all, an advice for the young ones, and how do you think it can be stopped? Trafficking in general, how do you think it can be stopped?
One of the things you should know that all those agents, all those traffickers, most of them don't come to Lagos. So that's one of the difficult things. Education. Most of them don't come to Lagos because 80% of women in Lagos,
They are smart.
They are smart. They have been hearing about it.
Yeah.
And they work on your psych you. They know that you have a problem. If you notice, most of them go to all this Iluoke, go to Oshun. Somebody just telling you that I fẹ́ mọ́ ọmọ yín lọ lóyìnbó. Ó máa gbowó tó pọ̀. Ṣé ìyá yìí ò sú yín ni? Dọ́là ló máa fi sanwó fún. Ìyá tí ò gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ rí. Ìran wọn ò dé ìlú òyìnbó rí náà. Ìran wọn ò ná 100,000 rí. They will go. It is when they get them, story change. And by the time story change, they have colluded their phone. How many people knows us to call? Let me tell you something. Out of 100% that were trafficked, it's only 10% that comes home alive. 90% died.
So you're saying illiteracy is one key problem, even before poverty.
Illiteracy, yes, and poverty. True. Then we begged on our government. We begged on them. We've seen some of them that were rescued back, and government will be giving them 5,000 naira to go back. We begged on them. Let us stop blaming them that Kilelo Shimbe, why did you go there? Some people are born with silver spoon. Some were not. Some were not. I have some of them that they are dead. They will not come back. They will rather die there. They will ask you if I'm coming. My father doesn't have a house. My mother doesn't have a house.
This money. Abi, do they? When this money they make, do they use it? Do they even have time to use it?
Some of them will even, I have a girl that sent her own to the husband. Before she comes back, the man don't chop her.
I also think awareness is also important, because just like female genital mutilation, I remember when it was like a big deal, in those rural areas. I remember that people would always talk about it and the rest, and I feel like it reduced. So for like something like this also, since we know now that it's in places like that they get most young ladies, I do feel like awareness in those areas will really help. Like for people that, how would I put it, that are not smart enough to know that, oh, this one has scam, or this one wants to kidnap me and the rest. Well, what do you think? But I feel awareness.
Well, the little way we're doing it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To create awareness, and one needs a lot of financial support to go to all those villages.
Yeah.
You need securities. You need so many things, because most of them, people that are calling to go now are from villages. They don't even have internet to know that. Okay, one girl was telling me, said it was when I got there that they gave me phone. I started seeing all these messages about woman trafficking.
Wow.
I don't even know. So my own mind is, I am going to abroad. In London, so far about your plane.
Okay, so lastly on my part, I think my question will be, because away from like the human trafficking and all, I know that International Women's Day is also a day to remind women that you can be something. I know you've also stylishly talked about how you are pushing for women to be in politics, like you need to rule and all.
Yeah.
But there's still this issue, although it's getting better, but there's still this issue of inequality, gender inequality in official settings. Like there's some places where some men will not, like they believe that why will a female be my oga? There's some friends that gist me about some of these things that I think this guy just has a problem. I have a friend, she's working with one of the biggest like marketing agencies right now, and she's a top oga. And then I'm like, anytime she's on call with me, one particular guy is always giving her problem. So, and I'm like, this guy, what does he want from you now? I thought he said he's married. So she said that like several times she has reported, and he keeps telling her that you are a woman. I get this kind of you for house. Feed, they give me instructions. So what's your thoughts about this, gender inequality thing, and what's your advice to women that are now, laid down, or they feel they can't go for it, they can't fight for what they really want to be, because they feel that, well, in this society, nobody will respect a woman?
Thank you so much. 2 weeks ago, I have a problem with one police officer. I don't know. I think 2 years ago or it's a year before, when we rescued those girls in viral video from Lebanon, and His Imperial Majesty he asked me to come, to Ife. That he wants to see me. I didn't know he was planning anything. So when I got there, he surprised me with a car. Well, I just parked the car. I wasn't really for like close to over 1 year. So I drove the car, and one police just said, "Why are you driving unregistered car after 6?" And the way they did the gun, me, I was scared though. Then they say, if they carry an they go save money. But when we got to the Ibarra police station in Abeokuta, I was shocked with the way the DPO was talking. The man told me, I have somebody said, "I have somebody like you in the house." He doesn't even want me to talk. I was pained. I have worked with the likes of Bodioja Juni. I have worked with likes of police officer who are commissioner, who are AIG, even the CP that was talking to me. These people are awesome. For the first time, I saw another thing in police uniform. Go and drop your phone. I was like, no, I'm still going back to meet him. There are some things it must stop. This is a police officer. It's a bully. Assuming it is not me, he will have bullied that person into silence and he will have locked her up. As a professional being, you don't need to tell a woman, I have you at home. Me and your wife will not be the same thing. Do you know me? I wanted to ask and said, how many lives has your wife touched in our community? That is one of the problems we have in Nigeria. Not be woman you be. What a man cannot do, a woman will do it 10 times better. If you feel it is easy, go carry belle, go born.
Word.
Woman will go multitask. My kids, they're in the university. You see me picking phone, I'm still sending message to them. How are you? I hope you are okay. I can leave them now. They're in the university, they are studying law. I'm just giving that DPO in Ibarra. I'm just telling you the example of a man who's supposed to protect us. Now look at me. I have somebody like you at home. I always tell women, don't look down on yourself because you don't have money. Money is secondary thing. So most of the things that I have now, it is service I render to people. People respond to value, whether black or white. When you are useful to people, when you are valuable to people, they will support you. Anything you know how to do, in Kontobati Moshe, Mashelo. One day somebody will say, "Sir, well done, my babe." If you don't have, because let's forget about gender inequality. Let's forget about it. Let's even talk about pressures from Facebook, from Instagram,
Exactly.
if you don't have mansion to live in a self-contained and live well and be contented. There was a time I went to supply one of my distributors. I saw one beautiful ready. It's not what is ready-made, fairly used. You know, I just like, because the market where I go supply plenty. I was looking at the woman, I said, I can't take it. I said, how much is it? I said 1,000. I said, can't 1,000. The guy fine. Me, I buy him. No business, I don't get money. I buy him. I wore it, I make up, I put my sunglasses. I put it on Facebook. Did you see this gown? I bought it for 1,000 naira. If you like, go and buy Calvin Klein. I'll be what for 10 million. Now, like you go like your picture. By the time they will drag you, not about that. Be contented with what you have. Pastor Funke said, if you don't have Gucci, carry your Ferragamo.
Valid point.
Even among women self.
Intimidation day.
Intimidation day.
Yes.
See the way I did my hair, I can do my hair like this and enter Aso Rock. I'm telling you. But one thing is sure, when I enter the Aso Rock, if Princess Juma that works with the Minister of Women Affairs, some say, don't you know her? That is that lady that rescued those girls. This is make me the introduction. One day, somebody introduced me. The guy was asking me, what kind of car do you use? You know, let us believe so much in ourselves. What you can do is in you. everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
Until when we realize that everybody is different. Your gift is in you.
Definitely.
If you know how to talk, now we have social media that encourage so many things. God are the days they believe that the position of a woman is in the kitchen. I'm still not saying it's not in the kitchen, because sometimes women too will get it very wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not only women they molest, they do molest men too, because we've had so many cases. So women are not. I found out that some lazy and the one that really doesn't want to get things right and hide it under where gender equality. So sometimes too, some women should take it very easy. We are Nigerians, we are Africans, we are blacks. Cook for your husband. Cook for him. Enter kitchen. Cook for your husband too, and there's something they call complete woman. Take care of your children. No be to they go party every time. Because sometimes we don't really get stories when when women they beat everybody, but sometimes we did for that side. When we listen to the story, we say we go put our mouth and say, oh, you call dada.
Good.
I'm telling you the truth.
Wow.
Some women are you don't pray for your son to marry them. And I want to encourage women. I want to encourage mothers. Let us to learn to train our boys, to young men, to be good. When you tell Amaka to go and wash plate, tell Tunde too to wash plate.
Yes.
Why are we correcting our women to sit down? Yoruba will say, "Obìnrin máa ń patán dé ni." Can't you encourage your boys to sit down and be a good woman? Don't turn your boys to idiots. And you will not turn our own girls to become a prayer warrior.
Yes.
You will see them now that they are doing Hallelujah challenge. I'm always there for comments. Oh Lord, change my husband.
Good.
Change my husband. Eh? Today is the 20th, 19th, the 19th day.
Yes, it was the last day actually.
Okay, last day. Now, they have turned all our girls to be prayer warrior now because of your boys where train well. So it's both sides, but still, I want the government to encourage more of women, and we mean it. I'm not even joking. I'm talking this with all my mouth. Government, next 4 years, if we don't see women, especially my state, I come from Ogun State, and Governor, what's the name of that governor again? Governor Dapo Abiodun. Now they beg you. I'm from Ogun State. My name is kehinde Adelaja, the founder of Make Me Elegant Foundation, founder of Young Widows Smite, the convener of Impact Women, co-convener of Ojaja Women. I'm introducing myself to you now, sir. We need female governor in Ogun State because one ile Latin Kesho Rode. So I'm starting from my state. We are begging you. And next 4 years, we not go ask for female president, but we are asking for female vice presidents. Please. We were not coming to, men too. They have this, they are scared. They know that we women, we can arrange things perfectly well.
Yes.
Don't worry. We'll still give you our respects. As a matter of fact, as a vice president, if we have a female vice president, we can assure that she will still be cooking for her husband in the house. She'll cook for her husband in the house. She'll take the children to school. She'll go and check the children in school. Don't be scared. We want to be in position so that we say we can help you arrange. You don't arrange this thing for the past 21 years, about many years. We never see them arrange. Let us come and arrange for us. We are organizers. Let's organize it for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel like this is like one of my best shows ever. No, not ever. Maybe like on the Pepper Sports show. Honestly, I really had like a wonderful time with you. First of all, words of wisdom, and like everything you said, I do feel like there's something that a lot of people would learn from, and I'm so grateful that you came on the show today. Thank you so much for coming. Before we end the show, we have a gift for you from Fame Doll.
Please, just give me 5,000 naira. That is
all right. So this is from Fame Beauty.
okay.
Thank you so much for
Fame
coming.
Beauty.
Yes.
What are they into?
Makeup.
Makeup.
Yes.
Ah, but you should have helped me begged to put 5,000 naira new notes. Now, if you have 5,000 naira or 3,000 naira new notes, you are rich.
Honestly,
Oh my
I'm
God,
telling you.
you.
But you now know one thing about this scarcity of naira. Yes, everybody's shouting, but I learned one or two things from it. It has taught me to manage. I never believe I can manage within 5,000 naira.
Wow.
Even though my money is in my accounts, but I was able to manage. That means Nigerian, we are wasteful. Yes. It is not every problem that arises in Nigeria that we should think is a problem. Sometimes let us think about the good side of it. I am talking about the good side. Though I was affected, I'm going to the US now. I don't even know how I'm going to get to the bank and collect my dollar out of it. But still, it pays me because I'm going to call my friend that normally I can't face to say, give me $100. Now they will give me. Maybe I even have more money than the one in the bank self. Say, make me obey. This one you're asking for $100. I won't ask from them for more. They'll just be giving me $100. Though yes, we don't have money, but that's one thing I learned from that you can actually manage the little you have when you don't have access. And that is one of the things they do abroad. You will see them going about with 10 pounds, and they don't feel anyhow. It's only in Nigeria we want to go about with 30,000, 40,000. I think this thing humbled us. So a billionaire and me, we are the same now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed your presence. And thank you so much to all our viewers and those who joined us live on VoiceTome.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you. We hope you had an amazing time because I've learned a lot.
I learned a lot
very
too.
Emotional.
I tell you.
So please kindly follow us on VoiceTome. Download the VoiceTome app. If you're yet to download the VoiceTome app, download the app so you can listen to shows like this live.
Definitely.
And yes, you can follow us on our social media platforms at Afrobeatsglobal. And yes, you can follow our guests. In fact, please, but just drop your handles because I know you don't have one.
Yes, I have 3, but I will drop 2.
Okay.
You can follow me on my foundation page. That's Make Me Elegant Foundation. Then my business page is Next Level Air Manufacturer.
Thank you guys. And
so
yes, you can
much.
follow me on Instagram Omobolanle Adigun _. And for Chi,
You can follow me also on Instagram at Choma_Eze.
thank you guys for tuning into the
Thank you so
Pepper Special.
much,
Thank you all for
guys.
joining us.
Thank
Do have
you.
a
Have
wonderful
a wonderful
week.
day, guys. Bye.
Bye.